Hello, everyone. I am so excited to go over the power of Christ consciousness and why it is being channeled. And a lot of people, whenever they first hear what is the power of Christ consciousness, not many people know what it is. And then, of course, when you add it to channeling, you're going to get some divine messages. And as I have said before, with through my channeling, I channel Sarah, who has walked among Jesus. And because Jesus ministered and a lot of his lessons were around the power of cross consciousness. Now, a lot of people think, well, when you talk about cross consciousness, does that mean that you are talking about the one and only Jesus? No, not necessarily so. So it is a consciousness, it is an energy, it is the teachings of what Jesus was here and was meant to teach on his spiritual pathway. So let's go ahead and dive into it. So, as I said, I channel Sarah, and Sarah channels messages with and through Christ consciousness. And the one thing that she did is she loves triangles because it represents the alchemy of her teachings, which is spiritual wisdom, spiritual truth, and then love, which is the highest light of all. So her insights reflect the timeless truth and profound love that Jesus shared. Each message is a beacon of light for everyone. Not everyone's going to hear the same message. Then that's what I love about Sarah's teachings is you may hear it one way, and then whoever's sitting next to you may hear it a different way. Whatever your heart and your soul is needing, you will be able to receive. And again, it's a brown cross consciousness. So what we're going to do next is we're going to talk about, well, what is cross consciousness? Where did it come from? And what is this all about? Why is it important for the channeling? So cross consciousness. So here we go with the what it is the unity with the divine. So with cross consciousness, it just means that we're all one. God did make us in his image. We are also a part of God. God is inside us. It's almost like a seed. Okay. He has planted his seed in us. So that is our soul. Unconditional love. So whenever you are practicing or you have cross consciousness in your life, you have unconditional love. You love everybody, not even if they are not wanting to be loved, I guess you could say, or their actions are very difficult to love. It's still that unconditional love. And I always think of this as, a parent of a teenager. You love them, but sometimes it's unconditional love. You love them even though the way that they behave and the way that they treat you. So that's how I think of unconditional love too, is what I've experienced in my life. So compassion and forgiveness. Sometimes it is very difficult to forgive. And it takes everything in your soul to forgive whoever did you wrong. And sometimes, now that doesn't necessarily mean that you're still going to have this person in your life. You can forgive their action and just say, you know what? Your energy does not match with my energy. It triggers me, and you do not have to have them in their life. But find the compassion. They are human. They're having a human experience. They're learning lessons along the way as well. And sometimes, yes, it's difficult to forgive, but when you forgive somebody, you're actually giving yourself a gift because that way you can get over whatever tragedy or whatever happened. Service to others. And we tend to forget this. Now, service to others just means that you are wherever you are needed. You are giving whatever talent you have, whatever, if somebody just needs you to listen. So it's an action and giving your heart into it. So giving service to others, not one like, oh man, I have to do this. that may not come from love, right? So it's the energy behind it. So you're helping others as well. So service to others, inner peace and enlightenment. So you will feel the bliss. You will feel the peace. You will feel the love. And enlightenment also means that if you're living your life in cross consciousness, that you will actually feel all this energy. You will be able to connect in with the spiritual world so much easier. Your intuition will bloom, and you will be the beacon of light that everybody really needs. And living in truth and integrity. So you need to live in your spiritual truth. And this is one thing that Sarah teaches, is that you've got to show everybody your authentic self, not what everybody thinks of who you are, but what is your soul saying. Whenever I first started coming out as the closet as a psychic medium, it is very scary. You have that fear to show people who you truly are. But once you show them who you truly are, that's whenever the spiritual wisdom starts to come in. And you can live among your truth that way. And it is so spiritual. Okay, so let's go and talk about where it came from. What? Okay, so cross consciousness origins. And there are several different eras that talk about it, but I mainly wanted to talk about its beginnings and how it is seen currently. So, of course, Jesus Christ's teachings on love, compassion, forgiveness, and the ideas that all connect with the divine. You do not need somebody else to connect for you. You are able to connect to the divine. And it's just because we're one with the divine. Now, this Gnosticism, they believe that Christ came to reveal the divine nature within every individual. And I absolutely love this. So let's go ahead and talk about modern day, how we perceive Christ consciousness. So it started with the New Thought movement in the 19th century, and the teachings is the power of the mind and the potential for individuals to realize their divine nature. So I always love the saying, you are spiritual, living, and being in a human experience. Okay? Or I guess we can turn that around. You are spiritual living in a human experience, because we are here to learn. I was trying to say in another way, you are a human being, but you are a spiritual entity. And many times when we are born here on this earth, we forget who we truly are. And so that's why sometimes you feel like you're separated from Christ, from the divine, from the source. So you feel separate when we are all just one. So New Age movement in the 20th century, popularized by the idea that cross consciousness as a broader exploration of spirituality. So it's beginning to come into that, yes, it's different than spirituality. You have personal growth, universal love, interconnectedness of life. And it does not matter what religion you are. If you have Christ consciousness in your life, it does not matter what type of religion you practice, okay? Because we are all one. And I always love to think of the wheel, think of the roundness of the wheel, and think of all the religions around this wheel. And if you look at and you research all these religions, you will actually find that in the middle, we have God, we have source. And they all point to the same thing. They all basically have the same terminology. Meaning of terminology, but the terminology, the name of it is maybe different, but we're all talking about the same thing. So I just find that very fascinating. All right, so why channel Christ consciousness? Why is it important for Sarah to come in and minister channel Christ consciousness? Well, for one, it aligns with higher vibrational energies. So because of Jesus and being a ascended master as well, and has very high energy, and so does Sarah. So she's getting all of her information from a very high vibrational, and that's why it's important. I know that I'll probably be channeling her on the internet, but it's very important also to be in person, because you can feel the energy. And I know you can feel it on the internet as well, but every word that she speaks has a different kind of energy, a different kind of frequency. That's why they always kind of search for the words that they want to say whenever you're channeling an entity, because you are actually looking at different frequencies. And with me, whenever I'm channeling and you see me moving my hands around, it's because I'm working with those energies and frequencies to keep it high. And if, there are several channelers that will actually Hire somebody who can work with energy and keep the energy up into the room. But with Sarah, she's going to be able to do it because she's going to be calling other entities to be able to keep the energy in the room high. So, whenever you are in alignment with these higher vibrational energies, there's purity, love, and you have protection. And that's whenever you are setting your intention as well, for the higher good and the higher the vibration, the better with the angels. All right, so let's look at the enhanced spiritual connection. So, whenever we're looking at cross consciousness, you are actually connecting in with the divine. Remember, you don't need anyone else to connect to the divine. Many people will go to a medium so that they can connect in with their loved one, but they can also connect in with their loved one as well. But it's always kind of nicer, especially if you're going through the grieving process, to have somebody else do it. I can channel, but so can you. So you don't need me to channel, but sometimes, again, it's nice to kind of sit back and hear what the message is. And then a higher guidance. So Sarah is definitely a higher guidance, even though she walked among us. But it's very nice at the same time that she had the human experience and she knows what you have been going through. All right, so authentic expression, integrity, and trustworthiness. So you know whenever you're channeling cross consciousness that it is a true teaching. Okay, you don't have to worry about where it is coming from or if it's trying to, do something. I don't want to say negative because that, I don't want to get negative stuff in there, but it has integrity and it is trustworthy. You can trust the information that you're receiving. And of course, it gives service to others. So there always is a reason why people are channeling cross consciousness, is to the messages or to help guide you and help, especially spiritual seekers who are trying to figure out answers. And so this kind of help guide you, brings you the spiritual wisdom that you need on your spiritual journey so that you can become enlightened as well. All right, so personal and spiritual development, inner transportation, healing, and wholeness. So, yes, it will also heal you because we have so many things growing up and things that have happened to us, several events that we're still having to live with and go to therapy for. And so there is a lot of transformation that can take place whenever you're hearing this vibrational messages from Sarah. Enhanced spiritual connection with the divine and higher guidance. We have already talked about this. So yes, so you're going to feel connected. You're going to feel the energy rise. You're going to feel something different in the room. And sometimes the skeptics will become believers at this time. So you'll be able to connect in and know that you're connecting in with the divine guidance. You'll also feel the universal inclusive approach. The oneness of everybody, the unity of whenever you are touched in with the divine. I know that people who have near-death experiences, they experience this. They experience that they are one with the universe, with the God, with the source, and with everybody that is here on earth and beyond the earth. So there is a oneness. And also, it's so interesting too, is you'll be able to kind of feel in more with nature. The more with you are with this energy and with the teachings, you will feel your energy actually raise as well. So it's just all fascinating. It's coming from the divine. It's coming from God. Anything is possible. And that's what we need to remember. So I hope that you enjoyed this information today. And again, whenever you are using Christ consciousness in your life and you're integrating it in your life, you will see a huge difference. You will see a huge difference in the way that you see things. You may see the world differently. And that's one reason why I feel honored to be the channeler of Sarah, is because she will use this cross consciousness. And I always, after every channeling session, I always feel a lot of energy and I have to ground myself. And I just love what she teaches. And it really depends on what each person's energy needs at that time. when she knows what she's going to be teaching. It's also Sarah and the Divine. So there are several others with her as she is speaking. So I hope that you find love, truth, and spiritual wisdom in your life. And I will see you soon.